What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do kind of a part 2 of last week's review of the MAC Fixplus Goldlite and Pinklight. When I posted the video, I mentioned in the video that you can do like a DIY version, and it's been going around on the internet, and I asked you guys what you thought, if you've tried it, and a few of you DM'd me and you were like, I tried it and it worked pretty good. And then a couple of you also left comments and were like, I bought the Fixplus Goldlite and it's not intense enough for me and I am disappointed. Being that the DIY seemed super duper easy and I just happened to have an extra bottle of plain Fixplus on my desk and I happen to have some gold pigment that we can play with, I figured I would try it and we would compare them side by side the way we compared the two different colors of the MAC Fixplus Shimmer. I also wanted to see, since we're doing a DIY version and a few of you didn't think that the MAC one was intense enough for you, if we could build up the intensity of that by adding double pigment. So we're going to try it twice. And just like the last video, we're doing one side of the face DIY and one side of the face with the MAC one to compare them right next to each other on top of the same exact makeup. Before we get started, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Just give it a little tap with your pointer finger, your pinky, whatever it is, just your nose, I don't care. Just help me out. It would be great. I would super appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe because I swear we'll have so much fun and I would love to have you around. And yeah, you'll make my whole day. So please go ahead and sub if you haven't already. I think this should be a pretty quick video because it does seem like the simplest DIY in the world. I say that now, but watch this shit be like 20 minutes. The pigment that I'm going to use today is SUGARPILL GOLDILUX because it's like the most gold thing that I have that's like a loose shimmer that I can pour into the bottle. You can also use a loose highlighter, which I was thinking about using Artist Couture La Peach, but it's definitely a different color gold than the one that we're using. So I didn't want to like not do a proper comparison by using a color that was really different. Also, a fun thing that I learned today is that, did you know that MAC Fixplus lids, they just twist right off? The whole time, I had no idea. All of these years using Fixplus, I had literally no clue that you could twist the top off. It just seemed like such an immovable piece of permanence to me that I never thought to. And when I went to go take it off, I was about to just rip it apart like a gorilla, which is a habit I have of doing. And then I said to myself, you know what, Harambe, calm the fuck down. Try twisting first because you're gonna regret it. And you know what? It came right up. So lesson learned there. With all that out of the way, let's get started on this DIY. So I'm going to take a little bit of the gold pigment and I'm going to tap that out onto a folded piece of paper so that way I can just funnel it into the bottle like so. And I'm going to start with just a little and see if it looks comparable to Goldlite, and then we'll add more if we need to, and then we'll add more just for shits and giggles at the end. Okay, that is the amount that I'm going to start with. I don't think that's enough, but we will see because I don't know what it's going to look like once I mix it into this bottle. Okay, so far the color of this looks significantly darker gold, so maybe this wasn't the best pigment to choose, but we're gonna go with it anyway. I'm gonna add a little bit more because it does look darker, but it also doesn't look like there's as much pigment swirling around in there, so I'm gonna add a little bit more before we test them side by side. I think right now we're at about the same level of pigment content, even though they are definitely different colors, but they look strikingly similar otherwise. Besides the color, they look very much the same. I clipped my hair back and we are going to do exactly the same procedure that we did the other day with Goldlite and Pinklight. This time it's just Goldlite versus DIY. All right, going Goldlite on the left side of my face. And the DIY on the right side. Okay, so far when they're soaking wet, they look very, very similar. So I'm gonna let this dry for a moment and then we will zoom in and examine both sides next to each other. Okay, I have zoomed you guys in uncomfortably tight, high. So now that it's dried down a little, I'm not sure how much of this is going to pick up on camera. So the DIY side definitely is nice and dewy looking. It's giving a really nice finish, but with that pigment, I have to say that I do notice that there are some like actual bits of glitter showing up. Obviously, that would change depending on what kind of pigment you mixed. If it was like a loose highlighter or something that was a little bit more finely milled, you probably wouldn't get that. But if you're looking for something a little bit more glittery, a little bit more in your face, then you definitely can get a glitter, like a legitimate glitter finish with this, as compared to the MAC Goldlite, which is just more of like an overall sheen. This actually does give you a bit of a sheen as well, don't get me wrong. It's definitely like got like an overall dewy look, more than plain Fixplus would be. But you can see the bitty bits of glitter in there too. So to try to make the DIY one a little bit more intense, I'm going to pretty much put the same amount of pigment in again. So we're doubling the amount of pigment in there because I really want to see how far we can take this before it looks like too much, you know? In we go, down the hatch. Did it all come out? And we'll mix it up. And to make this a fair comparison, I'm going to do another layer of Goldlite on the left side of my face too, because for science purposes, we need to compare them 1 to 1. And if there's only 1 layer of the Goldlite, then we can compare it to 2 layers of the DIY. Ooh, this is looking lovely. Wow, I like that. All right, second layer of the Goldlite being applied. And now, second layer of our DIY version goes on the right. And again, we wait for my face to dry. I need to like go get my blow dryer and blow dry my face to make this film in faster. Wow, okay, I am dewy. Woohoo! I am one dewy bitch right now. Wow. Okay, so this side with the DIY, even with double the amount of pigment, it does give a little bit of a glitter finish, but it's still not an intense glitter finish. I'm gonna walk in the other room right now and look at it in natural light on the vlog camera so that you guys can see there. First of all, let me just say that the 2 layers of Goldlite I am living for right now. It's so like juicy and dewy. If I was doing like just a skin kind of thing, like just nice skin, brows and lipstick, ooh, I am doing this. This is gonna be a summertime thing for us, I think. So let me pop into the other room and show you on the vlog camera what this looks like in natural light. Okay, I think you can tell in here that it definitely has more of a glitter finish. Like when I move this way, I'm pretty sure you can see it glittering like underneath my eye here and stuff. See what I'm saying? And on this side with the MAC Goldlite, you don't get that. Now, obviously that really depends on the pigment that you use, but if you are looking for a more intensely glittery version, then it is possible by doing a DIY. As a matter of fact, let's go into the hallway where there's like really harsh overhead light that always shows glitter really well. Hold on, let's go. This lighting is hideous, but it always shows glitter. Look at that. So yeah, that's how much glitter you're getting on the DIY version, and that is the MAC version. Okay, so comparing them side by side, my thoughts are the DIY works pretty good, but I think I liked the MAC version a little bit better. Personally, for me, for my needs, I'm just not a huge DIY person these days. I used to be like really into DIYs and I would do them all the time, but now it's like, I just don't have time anymore to do the stuff like myself. I'd rather just have it at like my easiest convenience, you know? But I do think that if you don't want to go out and spend the $26 on the pre-made Shimmery Fixplus, then this might be a good option for you. My only gripe with that is then you have to buy regular Fixplus anyway, and you're also paying for a pigment. So I don't know if you really wind up spending money unless you have an extra bottle of setting spray or finishing spray laying around that you don't mind turning it exclusively into a setting spray that has shimmer in it. The other thing is that pigments and loose highlighters, things like that that you could use to make this, they are pretty expensive in and of themselves. This Sugarpill loose eyeshadow pigment, whatever you want to call it, is $14. The Artist Couture loose highlighters are $27, and you do have to use quite a bit of it to make the product like actually visible. So I'm not sure if this is like a great money saver DIY. The only way this really makes sense to me, like for you to save money, is if you only want to use a shimmering finishing spray until you finish that bottle, and or you just happen to have a pigment laying around that you don't mind using a bunch of. I'm sure there are also other pigments out there that are less expensive. I think NYX has some loose pigments for a lot less money than these two, so I'm not sure, but I'll take a look around online and try to list those below if I remember when I go to upload this video. So yeah, in conclusion, it definitely works. Do I think it's a better option? I'm not sure. I think it kind of depends on what you have sitting around and whether you want to make your Fixplus or your other setting spray or finishing spray into just a shimmer one for all of the rest of its days. Because personally, I know that I use Fixplus like pretty much daily, but I also use it for other things where I mix it in to like wet eyeshadows and things like that. So I wouldn't want to have my one bottle of Fixplus be exclusively a shimmer one, if that makes sense. But not everybody does that, so that might not apply to you. Hi, it's future Nicole again. I feel like I'm gonna have to do this every single time I make a video now, but I just landed in New York and I'm going to try to edit this video while I'm here tonight. But I wanted to pop in and make mention of the fact that when I left the house this morning, I looked at the bottle of the DIY one that I made yesterday, and it looked like the colors of the pigment that I put in the bottle were separating. So it looked like, you know, when something gets like a green patina on it, like it's made of copper or like a metal reacts with liquids and stuff like that, there was like a little greenness in the Fixplus. And when I mix it up, it looked normal again, but I'm just, I don't know if I like that. I don't think I like that, and like the idea of putting that on my skin. I just figured before I started editing, I need to like make a little clip where I mention that, because some of you might not like that either, and I don't know if it maybe doesn't do that. Oh, my sister just got here. I don't know if it doesn't do that if you use a different pigment, but Rachel's back for her cameo with the gold pigment that I used. It most certainly did. So just a heads up. And lastly, one more thing: the Fixplus Goldlite comes with a little metal ball. I think it's just basically like a ball bearing that is meant to help you mix the pigment off the bottom. So when you make it yourself, you will not be mixing it like that. And see how it settles so quickly? Like most of it's already gone to the bottom, which is not a big deal, but then you just have to shake it up quite a lot, and then it winds up being like foamy at the top. I don't think that really affects the way it performs or anything like that, but I definitely think that it's better to have the ball in there. You could definitely go to the hardware store and get like a stainless steel ball bearing and put it in and use that as well. Now you're getting into like a little bit of a territory that's like too much effort for me personally, but it can be done. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Do you think that it's worth it to do the DIY version? Would you rather just go and buy the one from the store? I would love to hear your feedback. Personally, I think I'll be sticking with the MAC one, but now I have both of them, so I guess I'll be using both of them actually. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because I would super duper 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 appreciate it. Also, go ahead and subscribe if you have not already, because I would love to have you around for more videos. And go ahead and find me on other social media. I'm at Msquinnface pretty much anywhere you could possibly want to find me. I do lots of fun, interesting things and lip art and all sorts of stuff over on Instagram. And I am very accessible by Twitter, so if you ever have any questions or you would like to chat, anything along those lines, Twitter is where to find me. That's all for today. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.